Ahoy! Welcome to the stream train. Okay, that's cool. I'm live now, which is good. Hope everybody is well. Valerie! Oh, Valerie, if you're hanging around and you want to jump on the stream, let us know and I'll send you the link because it'd be cool to have you on to have a wee chat. Ryan, welcome. Thanks for joining us. So, as you can see, a slightly different setup. I'm very, very lucky that my wife is such a wonderful person and puts up with all my nonsense. So, I've brought myself down into the kitchen because I want to keep the volume away from my wife because she's got work and a proper job. So, hey, conspiracy music. So, I'm down in the kitchen, so I've brought everything downstairs. Thanks for joining us, D. Kenny. G'day. It's evening, yeah. So it's just gone 9:15 in the evening here. And myself and the Audio Brothers. Sorry, I'm just checking. Cool. Sorry, I was just reading your message there, D. Kenny. So, yeah, we're kind of doing a stream train because obviously Trey's away gallivanting off on his cruise with Grandma Glenn. They say they're off together in 70,000 tons of metal, but we know they're on a little romantic getaway together. Grandma and Trey just doing their thing, holding hands, Glenn's hair blowing in the wind, Trey's hair not blowing in the wind. So we thought we'd replace them. And we've got somebody joining us. We've got Transylvania Stud joining us. So I'm just going to bring him on the stream. If you bear with me 1 second, hopefully his camera will be up. So he should be joining us in just a moment. So I've got a few guests coming on. So Millennial Animal is going to be joining us. D. Kenny might be jumping on as well. Transylvania Stud has muted themselves, so I'm guessing he's just getting ready. And yeah, we're going to be listening to your songs. We're going to be giving you feedback if you want it, but generally this is just going to be a bit of a hang. And then in a few hours' time, we are going to jump on to the stream train. And we are going to head over to Audio Brothers, where we're going to continue the party. So we're going to have Eric, Juicebox, Charles, and whoever else they bring on. And just, again, hang out, listen to songs. So if you would be so kind as to share this with friends, if you've got anybody who wants to submit music for us to play, we don't have to give feedback if you don't want it. But if you want to send in stuff, as long as it's not major media or you think it'll get us pulled down. Worst case, I think we'll get a timeout from YouTube, so we should be okay. But ideally, your own stuff if you want to send it in. And we will do that. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up. Hey, Isomatic. Right, let's say hello to everybody. Let's get some. So, Valerie Bat, hello. Ryan Saunders, happy Friday. Enslaved Angel. Conspiracy Music, great to have you here. D. Kenny, always good to have you. Isomatic, hello. And I know that Transylvania Stud is there. He's just sorting out stuff, so we'll get to say hi to him as well. So, I've got a few submissions. We'll kick it off with one from Enslaved Angel, and we will then have a little bit of a chat about it. So let me just bring up songs for the show. Enslaved Angel got in there soon. So he made it. This is what. And hey, Rezo, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. There won't be as many voices as Trey, and there won't be any hat changes. But there will be entertaining songs. So, what Enslaved Angel has said about this, he made it in 4 hours in total in a strike of inspiration. It's quite artsy even for him. So, I've obviously not listened to this, so we'll get a nice first-hand reaction. And I'm just gonna. Oh, shush. Okay, so let's bring up the iPad and we will have a listen to Enslaved Angel. And it is called I've Married My Soul to the Earth. Let me know how the volume is. Hey, I am back, and yeah, Enslaved Angel, yet again, you have managed to create this vibe. It is definitely, the more I hear of your stuff, the more I'm beginning to appreciate it, I think is what I would say. It's still not my thing with regards to kind of music I would choose to listen to, but you've certainly got the vibe down on that. And to do that kind of in 4 hours is pretty cool. Just on a inspiration. Who's giving me a thumbs down? So yeah, no, I appreciate you sending that in. I mean, I don't know if you, I can't really give you any feedback on mixing or anything like that, because I wouldn't know how to change anything. I'll get you, my guy. Get you, my guy. But yeah, very, very vibey, very heavy. As always, it's always a little bit unsettling music, which I'm guessing is what you're going for. I know all these kind of different death metal, black metal genres or things like that. But again, I can't really give you any sort of more feedback than it sounded really cool. It sounded very vibey. I could certainly hear this or see this in a horror movie, or even a kind of like a science fiction, like almost like a getting ready for a fight or something like that, like the hero or the villain just getting psyched up. That's kind of how I imagine a lot of your music to be, kind of this ambient, heavy, dark, gruff kind of music, and it's cool. So that was my it was your first song in a major key. Well, there you go. Like, even with a major key, you can still have a very dark sound and everything like that. Transylvania Stud, I don't know if you can hear me. I've got you muted, or you've muted yourself. If you pop on your mic, can we hear you?
Hopefully so, yeah.
I can. Perfect. Oh, and you're coming through nicely. If you
Excellent.
Are you able to pop your input up just a touch, because you're still a little quiet?
Yeah, how's that? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. How is that for everybody else? Welcome, Transylvania Stud.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, not so bad. Not so bad. I'm new to this. I've never done this before, so thanks for having me hang out, man. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. The nice thing about this app, or the software that I use, it's fairly easy to get people on. So if people want to come on and hang out and chat, I can have up to 10 guests, which is quite cool. And then we can have a chat, everything like that, and it's always nice to have somebody to bounce off. What I was going to ask you was, obviously you heard the last song there by Enslaved Angel. Do you have any thoughts on that song?
I'll be honest, man. Metal is one of those things where I got into it so late in life, like especially like really heavy, really progressive stuff. Like I didn't start listening to Meshuggah until like, I don't know, 20 years after they were popular, because I'd never heard of them before.
I've never actually listened to Meshuggah myself.
Yeah, they're incredible, and I love them, and like they're awesome. But like I was just so late to the metal side of stuff, so like it sounds great to me. Like it sounds exactly as it should.
Yeah, it was certainly Enslaved Angel does write very dark metal, I would say. I don't want to say like black metal or death metal, but it's got a definite vibe to it. And he writes a lot of stuff. He does a lot of music and a lot of releases, and it's very cool. And he always sends stuff in, and he's always writing, and everything that I've heard from him has always been something interesting. Even though it's not my thing, I can appreciate it, and I've collabed with him, and it's good fun. It's good fun.
It's really, really heavy. I know
that.
It's
nice while drinking my coffee. All right, so we will have another listen to who we got. We got Tomo. So is Tomo in the chat? I don't know if he is. So basically, everything that is going to get played just now is going to also, I'm going to send all these songs on to the Audio Brothers as well, so they can have a listen, because obviously the time differences at the moment, I think for Eric and Chuck, it's like 1 PM, so it's right in the middle of their working day. But Juicebox is going to join us towards the end of the stream, and we're going to do a bit of a handover. And Millennial Animal is going to join us in a bit as well. He's going to jump on and have a chat, and basically anybody else who wants to. If you do want to, hit me up in my Discord, direct message me, and I can send you the link to bring you on. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to, but if you do, I can bring you on screen. At the moment, Transylvania Stud is just using his audio. I think his camera was having issues, so we've just got that. I have a dad joke. I like my metal how I like my coffee, black with some Meshuggah.
That's a great joke.
That's a good joke.
There is zero fat on that joke.
I like that one. Yeah. Good. Well done. I do have an applause somewhere, but my screen at the moment is just full of stuff. So yeah, we're gonna listen to Tom O. I think this is so what he said about this is drums and mix are definitely a work in progress. The bass and guitar parts are more or less in the final form, though he'll take any cool ideas. He'd like to know what we think of the balance between repetition and variation. Here, the variations come more from mood and arrangement, I think. Well, I hope that is. And in general, it does not suck. Well, I know, Tomo, it's not going to suck because I've listened and watched your guitaring and your stuff, and it's always very cool. And you are, as Trey would say, a bit of a dick ripper on the old guitar. So we will just play this. It's a Dropbox, so we'll just bring up my iPad and we'll hit play and go with it. Yes. Tomo, as always. Oh, I'll unmute Transylvania Stud. As always, fantastic. Yeah, really, really cool. I agree with you. Obviously, you said that the drums were a bit of a kind of placeholder of such, because they did feel that little bit loopy, but the repetition, everything was really cool. The key change up at the end, it was really nice. Solo was sweet. and hit some spicy notes in there. I suppose with maybe the drums. Oh, cheers, Conspiracy. Thank you very much for the sub. I appreciate that. I might get a little blim thing come up at some point. But Tom, that was freaking awesome. Again, I can't really give you any feedback on the mix. It sounded nice to me. You could hear everything. But yeah, your lead playing is really nice, and I will definitely be hitting you up at some point for. I've got you and File Grip in my head for guest soloists on some upcoming songs already, because you both play beautifully and you both play both quite different, similar but both different styles, and it would be cool to get you guys doing some guest guitar solos. Transylvania Stud, what are your thoughts on that song?
So is the idea that he just does instrumentals? Is that normally what he does?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it's in the chat, Tom. I believe it is mostly instrumentals that you do. I'll nip on his channel and I'll bring up some of the other ones that he's done, because he's a fantastic player, and it's always nice to watch good players. And he's very melodic when it comes. Sorry.
Yeah, dude, he shreds.
Yeah,
he shreds. It's funny because like when I listen to this kind of music, like I find myself like, and I've said this before, like I think about music like not as like I don't feel like I'm an artist. I feel like I'm doing a trade. You know what I mean? So like everything's very mechanical. I don't really think in terms of like doing like really abstract thought into it. I just go verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. You know what I mean? That's just how I operate. So like when I listen to this stuff, number one, I'm always impressed because I can't play that well. Like, and I have to fake it. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, it is really cool. I think if I were to do any mixing on this kind of stuff, like when I listen to bands like Liquid Tension or even bands like Dream Theater, who tend to have like, they kind of go off and on with the vocals. Sometimes they just have instrumental stuff. I like to hear really thick, powerful drums that are just below everything else. And like, I don't know if it's just that I've been accustomed to that sound for any sort of like progressive, even if it's like Japanese or whatever. Like I got turned on recently to a band called oh God, what was their name? I forget the name of it, but they're a band from Japan, and they play like a lot of instrumental stuff. And same thing, like the drums are always like really searing in the mix, but they're just below everything else. And there seems to be some sort of thing, and I don't know because I'm not an engineer, but there seems to be some sort of like ducking thing that happens to where like they come up and down in the mix. So like they'll duck down a little bit when a solo kicks in, and then like come back up when it's just like everything else kind of in its place, almost like a you know how like narration goes when the background music will drop down when a narration comes in, and then they'll come back up when the narration goes away, kind of like that. But otherwise, I thought it was sick, dude. Like, and again, like it's because he shreds. Like I'm usually so impressed by that I can't pay attention to anything else.
So it's always really cool hearing, because I've kind of got to the point a little bit where I used to be super impressed by shredders. It all kind of starts blending into itself, because there's only so many notes, and it's always cool when you see people who push the boundaries. But what I like about Tomo is that he shreds, but he's very melodic, and he writes nice melodies as well. So you can see that. So it's not just a whole 3 minutes of guitar wank. There's a really nice melody, and then there's the bit where he lets himself go, and he's like doing all the cool widdly.
Yeah, it's very melodic. I really appreciated a lot of the harmonies and stuff are really tasteful. So I thought it was cool.
No, definitely. And yes, Conspiracy. Conspiracy Music, Tomo Guitar, Enslaved Angel. Enslaved Angel, you will actually, because you're a mod, you will be able to put your YouTube channel in the chat, so you can do that. So you can put the link to your channel in the chat, because it'll take me probably ages to do that. I will. So I am working on the highlights, the song highlights from last week's show. But what I thought I would do is I would just combine them with this one as well. So normally what I'll do is I'll just edit down the songs and put the links to people's channels and everything like that in there. So if you're watching a video timestamp, you can skip through to the songs that you like. You can find their channel, give them a follow if they're on the socials and things like that. But I know that Tomo's got a YouTube channel, so if you send me the link to your channel, Tomo, sorry, I will put it into the chat as well. But Enslaved Angel, you can do that. And again, go and check out Conspiracy Music. They do a live stream like this as well, and they take song submissions. They chat about it. Again, it's another, as this community grows, as there's lots of more, as the Gong Gang start merging with Pete John's crew and Conspiracy Music and Thomas Christ, everybody like that. There's lots of people. And in the description of this video, you will find a list of the people and channels that do share music. So, thank you very much, Enslaved Angel. That's him done. He shared his channel, and Conspiracy Music. I think, actually, let me just check the description. I might have added you in. No, I haven't yet. So I will add you to the list of. I think when I tried to type in your channel name or something, it just didn't come up. But I will get that on. It is becoming a very large community, and it's fantastic that it is. I'm loving that it is, and I'm loving that there's good support and there's good feedback, and I'm getting slightly more comfortable with giving feedback. Again, it's all an opinion, and it's hopefully I can give it in a way that I'm not being a dick, because I'm not intending to be a dick. But I know that it's very difficult sometimes getting critique from your songs. Do you not agree, Transylvania Stud?
Well, it's really easy for me because I kind of live in a space where like you have to be extremely critical of yourself, because I basically write heavy pop music is what I write.
Mm-hmm.
So the more brutal somebody can be with me about, because like you can send tunes to your friends and they're like, oh yeah, sounds great. And they have no idea, they just know that it kind of sounds like music. So it's really important that, like, if you're getting feedback, like somebody, like, listen to what someone says when they're giving you feedback and go like, all right, can I apply this somehow? Can I somehow make this work? Because usually, like, especially what I found with the first time I watched Audio Bros was last night. Because I had just gotten invited. Charles was the one who invited me over to like watch the stream and get me in the Discord there. And like I have not been a part of this world at all, of like people who stream and this sort of thing. Like, this is all very new to me. So what everyone is doing right now is, like, to me, is a godsend, because 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when I first started playing music, to get this kind of critique from people who do all kinds of different music or can produce things better than me or whatever, like, that kind of information is invaluable, and you couldn't get it anywhere unless you paid somebody.
Yeah.
Like, now it's just like people do it for free on the internet. It's crazy to me. It's so rad. So like, guys, like, soak it in, take up all the information you can, even if it's bad. Like, even if it's bad, like, even if somebody tells you something and it's wrong, who cares? Try it. It's worth it, because like, there aren't any rules to this anymore.
Exactly. And I think that there's levels to songwriting, and what you're saying about if communities like this had been around 15 years ago, then we'd all be much further on. I mean, I've played guitar for 26 years. I've played in bands. I did 2 years at college studying music and music performance, guitar and guitar performance. But I never really did songwriting seriously. One, because I didn't think I was I'm a much better singer than I was 2 years ago or a year ago, but this community and Trey especially, and yeah, everybody in the Gong Gang have been really helpful, and I think it's accelerated my songwriting skills, and I'm a lot better and I'm a lot more confident with songwriting and looking at songs in a slightly more objective way, not so not so protective of my songs, I think, because it is
a big part of it.
Yeah, it's always a little bit difficult getting feedback because I've said that normally you get triggered when you agree with what that person's saying. If they're pointing out something that you're already thinking, you kind of get your back goes up a wee bit. So having that, getting more and more feedback and good constructive feedback, I think just makes you a better artist overall. And thankfully, I've worked in customer service and sales for 25 years. So
don't date yourself. Say an outrageous number so people can't.
So yeah, I'm used to feedback and getting rejections and things like that. But these communities are great, and I think that it's nice to see them growing and blending in. So I will bring up another song. So Oh, I've actually got a link from Tomo from a while ago, so we'll play that in a bit. But next up, we have some, we've got some D Kenny in the house. I'm sure he'll be joining us later. And again, all these songs, all these links, I will be sending on to the Audio Brothers. So if you missed them, you'll be able to catch them on the stream later on. So let me just bring up this. So this is called Suggestion Noted. It looks like a live performance. So let's bring up the iPad and hit play, and we'll check this out. So I think actually what D. Kenny was saying, that was just a tile. Ooh, shush, for a second. We'll have a listen to Princess LDG though, because she has got some great stuff. So it was a tune from his first solo venture. Ooh, that was as expected, very cool. Yeah, had a little bit of that ska feel, and just, is that you singing on it, D Kenny? Let me know, because your voice is very good. But that was really cool. I like that. The just, yeah, you're like, I mean, you and Juicebox and Cletus and all that lot, you all got this sauce, and you're all just writing really cool stuff. And you're another one, Transylvania Stud. I heard your stuff last night, or on my walk this morning, on the back, and you've all got this great ability to just write very cool music. And yeah, D Kenny, that was some great vocals, and yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to getting you to do some bass on my song. What I am waiting is, once I've got the drum track back from Mr. Smith, I'm going to retrack. Oh, we've got D Kenny's going to join us. He can tell us a bit more about the. So let's just. Hey, D Kenny, can you hear me? Can you talk so we can?
Can you hear me?
I can, but you're very quiet.
Oh no. How about now?
That's better. That's better.
All right.
Hey,
how's it going?
Good. I'm just going to put in the blank screen. Transylvania Stud is here. He's in the dark
going,
because it's daytime. So D Kenny, Transylvania Stud, introduce each other.
Oh, I think somebody had us set up for a bass battle at some point. I think,
I'm ready to rumble, but
that's
you're
right.
probably gonna take me. I am a what did I say? A basic bass bitch.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
We need to get up on stage with 3 or 4 basses and cover Spinal Tap.
Dude, I watched I forget who it was. I think like Blues Traveler. They did that while they like.
Oh man, really?
I don't know, 6 months ago while they were they did that song, and they had Adam Carolla come up and do like sing backup vocals with them. It was the craziest thing I'd ever seen in my life, and they played that song with all the basses. Weird.
Big Bottom.
Oh, that's right. That's his name.
Hello, Omni Collective Creativity. Thank you for jumping in the chat. I hope you're well. Feel free to send us some more of your cool music, and we can have a listen to that. The more songs we get, the less you have to listen to my chat. So that's good. So yeah, D Kennis, tell us a little bit about your first solo venture.
That was recorded on the heels of one of the early days of OTP. There were a few hiccups here and there for 2 or 3 months. We were all headstrong young men. So every once in a while there'd be middle fingers and turned backs, and then phone calls a couple months later. Hey man, so that one was me on my own for the first time. So I ended up playing everything on that, and a friend of mine from the ska band I pretend I never played in, he came over and sang harmony vocals on that. But the ska influence shows for sure, because I was moonlighting as a ska drummer, more like doing my best to do my half-assed Keith Moon impression while playing behind the ska band. It kind of worked.
Yeah, I mean, I always find it fascinating when I hear people play drums or play bass or things like that, and they sort of say, oh, predominantly it's like I just kind of do this and that, and then you hear them and you're like, yeah, I don't think you quite understand what not being able to play drums is like. I can show you not playing drums, I was saying this to millennial animal that the good thing about being really crap at something is that you're always really happy when somebody's willing to do it for you. So when Mr. Smith sort of offers to do your drums, it's brilliant because I mean the Logic drummer's great, and that's what I use most of the time. I'll get the basic of the song or the guitar parts down, and then like once I've got the tempo and stuff, I'll set a loop track on the auto drummer, and then as I split up the sections, I'll change each little things because it's quite cool. You can do that, and it's even better with Logic because you can convert it to MIDI and change things up a little bit easier that way. But yeah, I will always hand off stuff for other people to do better because it's got to make the song better.
That's I myself I tend to specialize in the engine room. Drums and bass are kind of where I'm at. I can play the guitar. I would rather not. Other people do that better, and I'm happy to let them. Every once in a while, I'll pick it up because I can make a sound with it. And I'm getting better at piano. I actually had a guy over and tuned my piano yesterday, and he spent 3 hours, and he was in there like filing all the little felt pads and everything. So
Wow.
it sounds amazing. So that's inspiring to take some lessons and get better at that because it's transformed the instrument. It sounds amazing. So maybe I'll take some piano lessons finally.
Piano is one of those instruments that, much like being able to sing, it's just sometimes it's the time and the effort, and I get distracted. But there's a lot of things if I spent the time and focused, I could do. I mean, I can play piano in the sense that I know how to build chords. Yep. And things, so I can generally find something, and I can. This is going to sound a bit wrong, but finger out a melody.
Well, sometimes there's only one way to say it, my friend.
So if you, I can usually find something, but again, if I really wanted like a proper piano part, I would definitely try and find somebody who would play better than me, because it makes actual piano players or actual bass players or drummers, it's like they think in a totally different way to guitarists when it comes to writing songs. And I think, and I imagine like this applies to most guitarists, it certainly applies to me, we focus so much on, I guess, the riffs and the solos and the leads because it's a lack of confidence to push yourself out there to try and do something like vocals and that, because doing vocals is scary, because if you can't play the guitar, like nobody really cares. But if you struggle to sing, or you're nervous about singing, or you're singing even in like a choir or something like that, and you're not bad, but you've just not trained, like people notice. And again, I think it's like learning the violin. It's like it's very noticeable when you're learning to do these things, and it takes a while to get past that.
That has been my my number one critique throughout the years is, boy, the vocal could be a little stronger. I'm like, yes, I know that. This is the voice I was born with, and I'm doing what I can. No, that's definitely one that I'd love to have somebody to hand those off to. Is get the whole track ready, and I've got my my scratch vocal. I'm like, okay, you go make magic out of that. I'd rather just show you what the notes are. But I don't mind singing harmonies, but lead vocal, I'm usually happy to let somebody else do that.
Yourself, Transylvania Stud, I'm gonna. Well, I need you to send me something. on the Discord. So get that sent over so we can have a listen. Because the stuff that I heard on the Audio Brothers last night was freaking awesome. And is
Cool as
that
hell.
was that all you? Are you a one man band, or do you hand off stuff, or do you kind of write the basis of the song and then maybe hand off certain parts, or are you just all in yourself? Oh, he's muted himself. He's maybe nipped off somewhere. I'll answer for him. Yeah, I do everything. I'm amazing. I've totally got the sauce.
That's right.
And you all better just bow down to me.
That's
You'll
exactly
come back.
how he would
You'll come back. So what we'll do is we'll have another little listen. We've got another one from Enslaved Angel. So what he said is actually it's not his, but it's copyright free. Oh, wait a minute. Transylvania Stud is coming back in. Let's just assign him in that. He's got himself muted. We'll wait until he comes back on and see if he'll answer the question.
Hey. Can you hear me?
Hey, they are.
Hey.
Sorry, I tried to turn on some sort of monitoring setup so I could hear myself a little better, and like that didn't work. So anyway, see, I'm not an engineer. So I do everything myself for the most part. So like if the songs that you heard last night, the one that's new that was like a demo, that was a tune that I did with some buddies of mine. Like I wrote the song and I demoed everything myself, and then I hit them up, sent them a copy of it, and then I had a drummer buddy of mine and a guitar player buddy of mine who was doing all those like Christmas tracks in there, those like that really ambient stuff. They were in a band in Nashville called Worker, and they are, I mean, dude, pull that up and play anything off of Neurology. It is the heaviest. I don't know what you call. I mean, it's kind of like post-hardcore meets like emo almost. I don't know. It's odd to explain, but like I wanted to do a song with them that was kind of like in that vein of like He Is Legend, Helmet kind of vibe. And so I had them play their perspective parts on that. But then like if I like the last record I did was all me, with the exception of like I think I had a buddy come in and just for fun I had a buddy come in and play some drums on something. But for the most part it's usually just me, unless I decide. So like my new record, I want to get a bunch of people on it, a bunch of friends that I've had over the years and played in bands with, just because I'm tired of doing it all myself, which is odd because like the whole reason I started doing it all myself was because I was tired of dragging people along with me, like trying to get them to commit. Which, by the way, D, like that tune that Andrew just played, like it's like Real Big Fish meets They Might Be Giants. That's the best way I know how to describe it. Dude, it ruled.
Right on,
it was
man.
really,
Thanks.
really good. Like, I know you probably get Sublime all the time, but like that people just say Sublime the same way they're like, oh, Alice in Chains when they hear me sing, because I put harmonies in my choruses and my verses. But like, dude, I just wanted to tell you that was a really cool tune.
Well, thanks, man. No, everything I heard of yours so far was amazing too. So let's let's do something.
Yeah, dude, I'm down. I've been telling everyone in the chat, like I started doing that country tune that I had played a couple of weeks ago in Trey's stream. I've been trying to work on that, and I found somebody in the I've been working with somebody on that, trying to get vocals, because like I hate my vocals on it because I don't sing country. So like I'll do anything and everything. I don't care. I'm just a dude. Like I'm not like anybody. So I'll play and do whatever.
No, that's the great thing about what I got going behind me is this is the first time in my life that I've been able to set up my actual drum kit, put some mics around it, play a take, and it doesn't sound like absolute shit.
Right.
so I've got some fairly decent recording equipment now, and like I'm so happy to use it. And like I spent the majority of the week working on two. They're probably supposed to be top secret tracks, but Juicebox will just have to deal with me telling people that we got stuff in the works. I drummed on one of his as well as one of there he is. What's up, man? I drummed on one of his as well as one of ours that's coming up with our project together, the Bejesus. And that's partway done. So both of those are coming,
Nice.
and I'm beating these things up back here. Anybody need some drums? Get at me.
Awesome. There you are, folks. If you're needing some drums, and I know that somebody in the Discord, in Trey's Discord, I think, was looking for drummers, looking for a drummer. I don't know if you're in Trey's Discord in the D Kenny, but if you are, I think if you go into, I think it's in the collab section. I'll have a look, but I'll do it.
I suppose I'll add some fine print that is style dependent. There's some stuff you might want me to do that I'm like, I can't do that.
Well, I mean,
I'm not that good.
I had to turn. The whole reason I ended up with all like in all these discords is because Charles was looking for a drummer, and I was like, "Hey, what are you working on?" And he sent me, and I was like, "Oh, dude, I can't do that, but I know somebody who can." And so you know, that's I hooked it up because like I am terrible at playing metal drums unless it's like, you know, Deep Purple or something. I can handle that.
So Omni Collective Creativity has just said that the Google form is saying he's only allowed to fill out the form once, which is weird. So I'm going to have a look at that now. So I'm going to put on this one by Darko US. This has been sent in by Enslaved Angel. Now he wants us to leave our faces on because he wants to see our facial reactions. So this should be,
this could be good or bad.
Yeah. So I'll hit play, and we'll while we're doing that, Omni Collective. There's two American dudes. So Omni Collective, D Kenny was talking about doing the drums, and Transylvania Stud is actually not got his face on screen. He's just got audio. So that's what's happening right now. Okay, so we're about to listen to Darko US, and I believe this is going to be quite heavy.
Last night I had a dream about
I'll turn it up.
I was in this house, but it was late at night. I was afraid.
Yes.
That's
That was
dude.
that was
I'll tell you that's I suppose I guess if I'll jump in first, and you know, I a lot of times what I struggle with is this with this music as a drummer is the way it tends to accentuate such strange offbeats, and I cannot find the groove even though I'm like trying. I'm like I want to nod my head. Where the hell I don't know where I am. Um, but I'll tell so during those parts, I mean, that's probably just me not being a fan of the genre, but I'll tell you there toward the second half of the song where it all came a little bit more into focus, and those spots where it was dropping out for the that that hip hop style beat for, for a couple seconds here and there. I was enjoying that. That was great.
It was like if Cradle of Filth, the Dillinger Escape Plan, and Job for a Cowboy just became one band. That's what it was like. Like if you had all three of those bands write a song together, this is exactly what it would sound like. It was heavy. Jesus
yeah.
Christ, it was heavy.
That it was. Woo.
For me personally, I think it was about 45 seconds too long. I think the bit that struck me most and the bit I liked about it was when it all dropped out and the scream vocals came in. I think there's something just about just a scream vocal on its own is just so powerful because it's such a visceral kind of sound, and it worked perfectly just before like it all came back in. And again, great production, sounded huge, really really heavy. Again, not really my sort of thing, but I just it it felt like the bit at the end was really cool with the kind of hip hop beats and the drops and stuff like that, but that almost felt like a prerequisite to another song. Like it like tacked on at the end. Like it feels like it could have been an intro to another song, or it didn't to me kind of match, but that's just my opinion is the style. I think it's a big thing of that kind of style. But
Well, it
yeah,
reminds me of
very
when like bands like Job for a Cowboy and all those all those kind of like deathcore bands like in the early 2000s, they would throw like they're basically just replacing one thing with another, right? So like instead of, and this isn't really a criticism so much as an observation. What's happening is that they're like they used to throw clips right before their breakdowns. Like they throw like little audio memes at you in the middle of the breakdowns. Well, now they just put hip hop beats instead, and that's how they chop it up that way to do something a little different. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I was like if I was in the like this would be a great like I'm gonna go do leg day in the gym. This is the song I want to listen to. It's
There you go.
crushing.
yeah. It's definitely yeah, a good leg day workout, or yeah, just getting on the box and just punching stuff and
Yeah.
Right, so Transylvania Stud has sent me something very kindly, so we're gonna have a
go.
listen to this. So is this one of the ones that you submitted last night, or is this something new, Mr. Stud?
Well, this is old ish. It was done in between an EP and then the album I put out in the end of 2019, 2020. And it's just a single that I put out because a buddy of mine wanted to make a music video. So he's like, "Hey, do you have a song?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got a song." So we went and made a music video and we shot it in 2 days, and that was really it. And I had my buddy Andy come in. He's the drummer for Cavo, and he came in and just I played everything on the song, but he came and played the drums for the music video just because I thought like, well, I'm gonna have him on a record eventually. So, which he was. He ended up being on the record that followed this single that I put out. But I've never like posted this anywhere like to get feedback or anything from it. It's just a tune that I did a few years ago.
That was Transylvania Stud speaking, Rezo. He just doesn't have his camera's not working, so we've just got a blank screen, and it's a voice from the void.
He's still got his curlers in.
Well, the other part is that like I don't really use like a camera because I like have a Mac Mini, so like I don't even have a built-in one to use, and the one that I normally use for whatever reason isn't working right now. So that may be something I have to solve later on.
It's great stuff last night, Rezo. So we're going to have a listen to Transylvania Stud just now. Just going to bring up the Handsome Devil and hit play. Inconsistency is always playing away in you and me. Now without we see the world and every hour of tragedy. You ain't finding what you want and what you see. It's easier on you than me. If you want to grab a torch and hunt me down, our mystery. Test the water, move me closer. I don't wanna float if it means I'm gonna burn. I don't wanna float if it means I'm gonna burn. I don't wanna float if it means I'm gonna burn. I don't wanna float if it means I'm gonna burn. The farther down we move away, the further down you're dragging me. Resistance is the game to you, and I'll be sure and see you through. You ain't finding wanderlust is where we find that I ain't ever had the guts. Just tell me on the burning stake, it's better if it ends today. Test the water, move me closer. I don't wanna float if it means I'm gonna burn. I don't wanna float if it means I'm gonna burn. I don't wanna float if it means I'm gonna burn. I don't wanna float if it means I'm gonna a second, let me bring everybody on. Where am I now? There I am. Oh, now I'm over here. We're all moving about.
It's like
That
the
was-
Brady Bunch intro.
that was freaking awesome, man. That was
I know we got to get 9 of us on screen at one point. Like kind of.
well. I can have up to 10. Is it up to 10 people on? So yeah, you can get. I can get another 9. It'll get a bit tight, but yeah, Omni Collective Creativity. Just as I sent that message, it came through. I was like, oh, good, it did work. And Princess LDG is here in the house. Hello. So hey, and that had like a really kind of cool Queens of the Stone Age meets Foo Fighters meets like a really like great bass tone in that. I really like the bass tone in that. Great fuzz, and it carried all the way along, and yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
I was digging
appreciate it. Thank you, guys. So, like, the bass tone in particular, it's just so I found this weird Epiphone, Thunderbird, that's like I don't know if it's a set neck or if it's neck through. I don't know the difference.
I think they're neck through.
Well, some of them are, and some of them are bolt on. It just depends. Like it depends on which one you get. I think most of them are neck through though, because that means it's all like one piece all the way through, right? So
Yeah, and then they just kind of put the wings on either side of it. Call it good.
right. So I got this weird one at Guitar Center for like $300, and it's like super duper light, and it's balanced really well. And whatever pickups they put in this thing, I have no idea what they are, but they sound good on everything. And so I literally just plug into whatever preamp my producer like tells me to, and I just plug it into that, and it just sounds awesome. Now I'm sure he does some stuff on the back end that I'm not aware of, but mostly it's mostly just pretty plug and play. Like I don't have anything special that I know of. I think it's just hey, he mixes really well, and that's why it sounds cool. Because other than that, it's just the sound of the bass. And that's what he told me. He was like, no, that bass just sounds like that. It's just really cool. It's like I use the exact same stuff on whatever bass that he uses for his band. And he says, this doesn't sound like that. So that's where the bass sound comes from.
I have to have one of my basses worked on the other day, and the luthier said something to me that made a whole lot of sense. He said, I've seen so many $300 diamonds and $3,000 dogs.
Yeah.
And I was like, that makes a lot of sense, man. An instrument is wonderful or not, price regardless.
Yeah, it's totally true. And the guitar in that is a TC90. It's made by Fender. And it was like a one-off that they replaced it with the Jimmy Eat World guy. He basically took that design and made it his thing and just made it look more like a Tele. But they only made that one, and it's like Korean, and it's dumb. It's dumb. I'm tuned to B standard, and it's no problem.
Wow,
And I love that guitar. I got it for like $500.
nice.
No, awesome track. Music video is cool as well. I'll have a proper look at it. I was kind of doing stuff as the video was going, but the song was great. I really enjoyed it, and I'll definitely. Well, I mean, I've got artists that you should check out as a playlist on my YouTube channel. I need to update it for a bunch of new people that have been doing. And talking of like what you're saying about guitars and things like that, I got a new acoustic guitar for my 40th, but the one I was using for a good 10 years was a £90 one from basically like a pawn shop. I got it because I liked it. Had like a natural wood finish. Definitely wasn't like, I don't know what kind of wood it was, but it looked really cool, but it played beautifully, and was always a really nice guitar to play. And then I got a Faith guitar for my 40th acoustic, which I could definitely hear the difference. But that was, I don't know if I could justify spending 3, 4, 5 grand on a guitar. I mean, there's some absolutely, I love PRS. I mean, the PRS that I have is great, but I see the sort of genuine ones or the American made ones or whatever ones they are, and I mean, they're absolutely stunning, but 6 grand for a guitar, to me, I would be scared to play it in case I fucking broke it.
Exactly.
Look, man,
That's when you know you've gone too far.
Well, what's crazy is like, so my grandfather, I learned how to play guitar on a 1967 Martin D28. Like, that guitar is worth like $8,000.
Easy.
And it was just in the closet. And I was just allowed to play, like, it was just a beater.
Yeah.
So, like, it was not well taken care of, and he bought it off a guy. So, like, for Christmas one year, I, like, told him, I was like, hey, there's a Martin Luthier in town. Like, I'm going to take it to him so he can make this thing look nice. Set it up, put a proper saddle on it. Because, like, this guy was, like, using super glue. The nut was, like, broken in half. It was crazy. But, so, like, I got it fixed up for him. So a couple years later, he gets the bright idea. He takes it to Pennsylvania to Martin to have him check it out. And he's like, well, your grandson ruined your guitar. And I'm like, there's no way I ruined it. I had a Martin Luthier fix it. Like, this thing was trash. Like, you would have thrown it away if you saw it before I had it fixed. It's crazy. I don't know what happened to it. He passed away, and my uncle said that he didn't know where the guitar went. So, it makes me sick.
Yeah, feels like Martin were going, yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
exactly
very good. No, it's not worth anything. We'll look after
you should
it
sell
for
it
you.
to us. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you mean that old piece of crap? Yeah, I had somebody look at it, and they gave me 75, and that's probably more than I deserved.
Right, exactly.
So we have had another submission from Omni Collective Creativity. This is what he says. When I've asked, tell us about your song. Hello, humans. An orchestral piece whose chords I enjoy immensely. Concept. The Hudsons finally reach a state of harmonious victory that transcends the abilities of the struggling individuals. Hooray! Reach because they are finally put their 50 years of problems aside and unite against an even bigger foe, feared to come, Alcazar. So that is what he has said. And regarding feedback, any kind of feedback would be appreciated when I create more orchestral compositions in the future. So this is called Hudson Verse 2, Reaching Harmony Part 2, Transcendental Chords. Transcendental Chords. Transcendental Chords. I can't read, sorry. We're back.
Oh,
That-
so that was the end then?
Yeah.
All right. It had a couple of pauses where I was like, are we done? Nope. Boy, that there were a lot of really like I don't know how else to put it other than thought evoking chords in that, as well as the changes from mood to mood just with the notes. Then there was that one spot where he hit us with that ridiculously dissonant chord for about 12 seconds straight. I'm pretty sure my eyes got as wide as dinner plates. um, but overall, honestly, that was an enjoyable auditory experience. I don't, um, I wouldn't ordinarily listen to something like that. And I'm not, so I don't know how well versed I am to critique, what I mean, I don't know whether you'd want to shorten that up or not. I mean, I think I saw in the chat you have some that are as long as 38 minutes, so I doubt you want to cut any out of this. But honestly, I enjoyed most of it. There were a couple of moments that I, as as a fan of the 3-minute pop song, was kind of going, well, where are we going? But for the most part, I honestly really enjoyed that.
Transylvania stud.
Well, so like I said in the chat, I felt like I was in like a scene in like a Stanley Kubrick film. That's what it felt like. It felt like the weird part of a Stanley Kubrick film. If you've ever seen A Clockwork Orange, or he did Full Metal Jacket, I think too. And there are these scenes where like it's just meant to make you feel uneasy and uncomfortable. Like that's what I assume that's what he was going for, is to make you feel uneasy and uncomfortable. And so like, dude, for you do any sort of suspense, thriller, dark scene in a movie, anything, that's there, dude. Like he nailed it as far as I'm concerned anyway. Now, it kind of dates it because the sounds that he picked to do that kind of dates it between late 70s, early 80s. Like just with the synths and the kind of like more like Moog type stuff. But
I got a little bit of a intro to "Shine On You Crazy Diamond" vibe from the sound. Yeah, I'd say that gives it a bit of a date, synth sound wise.
Yeah, but I mean, it works, dude. I like it did what it was supposed to, I think.
Definitely.
Mickey,
That
she's
doesn't
just
make it
said,
bad.
oh shit, the black square is talking. Yes, the black square is talking. So I'm guessing from sort of slight interactions in the chat and things, Omni Collective is blind or sight impaired. So he says here, this is me making this on GarageBand iOS with your eyes closed in a voiceover on an iPhone 11.
Dude,
so
that's so good.
Yeah. So
Wow.
So not only did he nail that sound, but he did it like impressively, unbelievably impressively.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, this has got that, I guess, that minimalist composer feel of like Philip Glass and that kind of style of thing to it. I mean, the only sort of thing I would say is a couple of the pauses, I almost want to hear like a single instrument, just maybe in the distance, or a bit of reverb, like a really like a high stringed like solo violin or something, just so there's not, where that pause is, it doesn't feel, because it felt like almost the pauses were there for transitions, but the dissonant chord was super jarring, like something that almost led into it would be quite cool. Whether it was a swell or something like that would be, but it was a really, really cool vibe. Really, I mean, a lot of people are saying sort of you said yourself, kind of like Stanley Kubrick, The Shining kind of vibe. Definitely could hear that on a movie score. creepy hotel or creepy forest, just an unsettling kind of vibe to it. And I think as well, Omni Collective said something. There was something he said. Yeah, that's it. It's called Reaching Harmony. So there, in the beginning, there are parts where harmony is not there with passing distances. So that was certainly like that, as you said, D. Kenny, that dissonant chord that felt like it came out of nowhere. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? But very cool.
It was hot. It was hot. But
it's drilling a hole in my forehead.
That's the thing. Like and when you do that kind of stuff, if you do it right, which I think he did, like that could even be in a scene like of course it would be like in a shorter blitz or whatever, but it would be like kind of in that same vein of like in Stranger Things when they're having like a weird montage of things or something like that, when they're having to pass time and there's creepy unsettlingness. Like it works. It's obviously not something I'm going to turn on in the car, but if you put that in a movie score, you know what I mean? Like put that on in a movie score and it will make you feel exactly like that feeling that they're trying to invoke in whatever scene they're doing. It's a great score.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's some incredible movie score or video game score music.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Like a weird Resident Evil style type of thing.
Yeah, like this song starts playing when you really wish you hadn't gone in this fucking room right here.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
I don't know if you guys have heard of a comedian called Eddie Izzard.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So she had a stand-up bit a while back, and it talked about you should always listen to this music in films, and she's going like, I'll go this way. It's like, oh, maybe not. I was like, I'll go this way. No. Yeah, that seems like a good way to go, and that just reminded me of that.
I remember that bit.
No.
Yeah, I remember that bit.
Right. We've had another one sent in from Enslaved Angel, but before we listen to that one, I'm going to play one of my friends' band's songs because I want to. And I've played a few of their songs on the stream before, but they are very good. I think we'll play the 7-minute one because I think it's not one that I've played for you guys before. So this is my friend's band Centrilia. I was sure I'd subscribe to them. That's terrible.
Andrew.
Oh, sorry, 1 second. Pause that. Sorry.
Hey, bud, I got to pop off of here. Thank you so much for letting me hang out with you guys. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh,
man, good to talk to you.
Thank you very much for jumping on. It was really, I really appreciate having you on. It makes it a lot easier to have people to interact with and chat to. Anytime, normally when I'm doing the streams, usually like on a weekend, I'll do an interview first and then listen to submissions. But obviously, this was a bit of a spontaneous one tonight to take over from Trey while he was off gallivanting off with Grandma Glenn on their love cruise together of 70,000 tons of metal. So I thought we'd try and keep the entertainment going for the Gong Gang. So
yeah. Hey, listen, thanks again. And anytime you need me on, I just got to go do dad stuff for a little while. So I'll probably pop back on later with the other guys. So
yeah, definitely.
I really appreciate it, man. This is a blast. And
no, great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's great to have you. Great to have you on. Your songs are awesome. Definitely.
Yeah. I'll get my camera fixed so it's not just a black square talking to people.
What was funny when I was thinking about the sauce, like obviously like Cletus and Juicebox and that, I was talking about the sauce, and you're another one, and DK, and I was like, it's kind of like you got Cletus Christ, and then you need the 12 disciples of the sauce, and then it's like you could have that picture. It's like, so
if I can pick what kind of sauce I am the McDonald's Chipotle barbecue that we're never ever gonna get back, but it was the best barbecue ever made, and I'll die on that hill. I will die on that hill, Andrew Jackson.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon, and thank you again.
All right. Take care.
Good to meet you.
Take care, Mr. Stud. I'm just going to call him Mr. Stud from now on.
See y'all.
Bye. All right. So thank you very much to Transylvania Sauce from Eric Simey there. So thank you very much, Transylvania Stud, for jumping on. So yeah, we're going to have a listen to my friend Gavin's band Centrilia. So this is Taman Shud. And it was about 3 years ago, but I would really like... This is one that is mixed by Terry Date and recorded by Stephen Jones in Glasgow. Stephen Jones is actually a very cool producer who's been working with Centrilia more recently on their later stuff. This is a little bit older, but I thought I'd put it on. And Mick H, gotta go. Thanks very much for jumping on. Appreciated. Have a good day, and hope you have a good chilled day, because I think Mick H is in Australia, so I'm pretty sure it's like 9 or 10 in the morning there at the moment. I know they're in the future somewhere. So anyway, I'll put this on and we'll have a listen. I don't think it's a music video. I'm sure there was a music video for this one. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. Anyway, we'll put it on. If there's not a music video, we'll just leave the thing and we can leave our handsome faces on. So yeah, that was my friend Gavin Span Centrilia. He's the vocalist, and actually the bass player's birthday today. So happy birthday, Gareth! I'll let you see what you think of that, D Kenny. I'm just trying to get Shadow of the Show and Danny in. For some reason the link's not working, so I'm carry on chatting, and I will get this sorted for him.
Somebody should have told me to prepare some jokes. I don't have a routine planned.
Why is this not? Sorry.
I suppose as that's your friend's band, I'll make some comments about the song we just heard. It's well done. It's well produced. The vocalist has some obvious power. Of course, I'm always going to prefer the quieter, more melodic parts. I don't know whether I'm just getting too old or what, but no, that's I couldn't stop my head from moving. That's that's not very technical talk, but I suppose that means I liked it.
Danny, have you got monitors on?
I can plug one in real quick.
Oh no! If you turn the monitors off because we're getting the echo.
It's probably because it's coming through my laptop speakers. I had to switch.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that, DKNA. I mean, I like yourself. I prefer to like the melodic stuff, and that Gavin's got a great harsh vocal and things like that.
He's incredibly good at that.
Yes, and I know that. Like over the years, I mean, he's been in bands for the last 20 odd years. And I also agree, Rezo. It's a great song, but a little bit long. But I don't think it, for a long song, it didn't feel long. Like I've heard songs that are as long as that, and they feel like they're going on for a fucking eternity. Like it had that, a bit of variety and a bit of light and shade. And again, I think it was mixed by Terry Date, who I believe is quite big in the old heavy metal kind of metalcore scene. I think he's done some pretty big bands, so that was a big thing for Gavin and the guys to get that for their album. So this was their sort of debut album in the name of nothing that they released a few years ago, and yeah, definitely worth checking out. And they're always kind of in the process of releasing new stuff. So if you like that kind of genre, give them a listen. Let's see if we've got no echo now. Unmute him. Can you hear us?
Have echo now?
Nope, no echo now.
Okay.
Perfect. Hello, Daniel. Danny.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Are you able to turn your input up a touch? You're quite quiet.
Let's see. Doesn't appear to be any settings for that on the browser. But hang on 1 second. Sound settings. Is that better?
Yes, that's better.
All right. Cool.
So yeah, Danny, this is a little bit more kind of your wheelhouse of genres of music. What are your thoughts on that song?
Had a cool Tool vibe. The vocals had a really cool Lamb of God vibe. It worked. It was a bit long, but we were all guilty of that. So, I mean, we all want to put our epic out there and make the longest song possible with as many ideas as possible, but I think they pulled it off. I mean, it was pretty good.
It was good fun, and yeah, I agree. It's like it's doing that song that you kind of want to. Everybody wants their bit in, and they want to enjoy themselves and stuff. So, I mean, Danny, we're going to have a proper chat in a couple of weeks because you and Chris have got your single coming out. But I thought I'd just ask how you were doing and how life is, and tell us a little bit about yourself for people who don't know the Daniel behind the shadow of the throne.
I'm a shadow. I'm behind the throne. No. My name's Daniel. I play guitar, program the drums, play bass, and do the synth work on Shadow of the Throne. Also do the clean singing and backup screams. And then Chris, who you'll see on in about 8 days, he does all the lead vocals. So all the lead screams. Great range. So he's great. He writes all the lyrics. Yeah. Cool process. I'm sure we'll get into it later.
Yeah.
And I know I kind of gave a short little review on that, and that's because it's hard to review someone's music when you see them as being further along in the process than you.
Mm.
So it's almost kind of obnoxious to critique. Like, I wouldn't critique Lorna Shore. I wouldn't critique Ginger.
Mm.
You know, like, you tell me how I'm supposed to do it, right? Like these guys have videos. These guys have really good production. It's like, maybe they have big of enough name to write long songs. You know, usually the guys with bigger names have the right to write as long a song as they want. It's whether you'll listen to it or not.
I think yeah, the critique thing's always a little bit strange because I'm always very very funny about giving critiques because I'm kind of don't feel like I'm in a position that I could give somebody actionable feedback that would make a song any better. I can only tell them what I kind of think I would like, what I might do, which doesn't necessarily mean it's going to make the song better. I certainly can't give any advice or tips on mixing because I know fuck all about mixing and production. I just kind of use stock plugins or things and just try and get something that hopefully is good enough that you can kind of hear what the song's trying to be, and then hopefully track it better and then palm it off to somebody who knows what they're doing.
We're all at that level, just different little tiny bars of that level. It's like, it may sound a little clearer, but it isn't professional. None of us are professionals at this, so.
Well, I was listening to him talk thinking he sounds like I could be saying this. Like, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. I'm just doing it.
I make noises.
That's right.
Put them on. Put them on something digital.
There it is.
Digital noise.
But DKNA again, like you've heard Daniel's stuff, and I think last night, the Audio Brothers, you played some of your older stuff, which was cool to kind of hear how you've progressed a lot in your songwriting, and again your vocals. Considering when you were, funnily enough, listening to I listened back to the older streams, and it was the one when I think it was one of your first submissions, Daniel, when you were still using the stock kind of what was
Vocal
it called
samples.
again? Sorry?
Voices of Rage.
Voices of Rage, yeah. And even that, I mean, like, the song sounded good, and what you'd managed to program with the vocals sounded like, I mean...
That took forever. It was so painful.
But,
stretching vocal samples and stuff to make them work, like, in some sort of flow. But at least I didn't just put out, like, instrumental self-wankery... like these, just like, you know, I started that route. Everything was instrumental at first. Then I realized, hold on, I don't really listen to that much instrumental music. What am I doing? So I said, well, I don't have a vocalist. I'll do this.
And then, yeah, you started singing, and I think we were all blown away with how strong your voice was with only like a couple of weeks of kind of doing it. And I know that you had some one-to-one vocal lessons, which I think you said yourself helped a lot, just to get somebody can give you immediate feedback on your support system and everything like that. I mean, I've been doing obviously Chris Leapy's course, but I definitely need to get in place with a vocal teacher.
You need that person to hit you with a cane and say, "Oh no, don't do that." If you don't get that reinforcement with the swift kick in the ass, like you just like think you're doing good on your own. I call it the echo chamber.
Yeah, I remember when I was just a young lad and I sang in a choir. Oh, Millennial Animal is joining us as well. So we'll just... we've got
there he
Millennial...
is.
Hey.
Don't eat the mic, bro. Don't eat the mic.
I have to get this close because me fucking... Sorry, first thing I come on and I'm swearing already.
It's alright.
Millennials like, this is ice cream.
Oh, I'm going to remove my
Lick the mic.
little...
Sorry, Andy. What did you say?
I was just saying about when I was in the choir years and years ago, and
The priest touched you.
well, no, but the choir master used to stand on our feet for us to hit the high notes. So he'd like not stamp down, but he'd push down on your foot, so you'd kind of like to hit some of the high notes.
Your feet?
Yeah, our feet. He was a very friendly choir man. Yes.
No, I had my music teacher was called Miss Horrocks, so she had horror in her name, and she was horrible. I like to this day I hate singing because of her. Like I'd get all like self-conscious, and she'd just like try and put it on me like, no, you're doing this bit now. You know, like if she saw you not singing, she'd put you in a place in the melody or in the the song to put you on the spot. She was horrible. Yeah.
Quite.
So has there been any good tunes today?
Yeah, there's been some great tunes, and to be honest, all of them are going to get booted over to Audio Brothers as well. And I think, actually, bear with me 1 second, because I am just going to... I'm just going to copy over...
God damn, I got a lot of gray hair. The fuck?
I'm starting to get some, on me.
I had
like,
whatever's there under here. It's
wear a hat.
whatever's there is there. That's I don't have to think about it.
I'm starting to get...
This is how you catfish people. You sound this young, but you got gray hair. You just do that, like...
Wait, if you were going to catfish them when you die...
What's up, girl? What? No. I make them think I'm young. I'm like, hey, what's up? And then,
to be fair,
bam, gray hair.
One of my mates went grey when he was like 19, 20. It was crazy. He was like Salt and Pepper when he was like 19, 20. To be honest, I think it looks kind of cool.
He listened to Salt and Pepper?
Didn't we all?
No, dickhead. No.
Mr. Smith in the house.
What were you
What's up,
saying,
Mr.
Andrew?
Smith?
Mr. Smith has jumped in and said hello in the chat. I'll send him the link to see if he'll jump on, but I doubt he will.
I hope he does.
I'll send him a link.
By the way, am I echoing? Because I got the speakers on with no cans.
No, we're not getting speak. I'm getting like a dull hiss from somewhere. I don't know if that's...
That could just be my mind ticking over. 1 sec. Put a thumbs up if it goes away. Like 1, 2, 3.
You
gotta keep talking, or I won't know.
Was it still there?
I didn't hear it.
It's still. It might be something to do. There's probably a good chance it's just poor Ecamm is going, oh my god, I've got 4 people on. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So
have a gas leak, like.
we will. We do have another submission from Tomo, so I'm just going to bring that up. And
This reminds me of a shitty movie called Unfriended. Like, if anyone dies on stream, I'm closing the camera. I'm just saying. Because I've seen that movie. It sucks, but things don't happen that are good.
Yeah, is that the one where it's like a haunted movie?
Yeah.
The laptop's haunted. Yeah, I
Yeah,
never watched it.
they picked
Saw the
on
trailer.
someone. They picked on someone the whole time, and they died, or they were a witch. I don't know, man. The movie sucked, but the premise stuck with me. Like every time I see this Ecam girl thing going on, I'm like, oh shit, ghosts.
Yeah, Ghost in the Machine.
That's
Literally.
Yes.
right. So we've got Tomo, so I'll just bring him up and we'll all disappear and we shall have a listen. So
I'll listen on stream.
yeah, Daniel, I would listen on stream rather than through Ecamm because the audio quality in Ecamm is a bit shit. So I would just mute yourself and listen on stream and we'll go with that. Right.
Gotcha.
Let's hit play. Unmute us and I'll unmute you guys. Yeah, I remember hearing that Tomo on Trey's stream a while back, and I couldn't remember who you. I know it was inspired by Teregra, which again is a stunning. What I loved was the way that you did the tremolo picking with the picking fingers. I remember you explaining it to Trey how you pick index, alternate pick, and just sort of practice that. I still kind of am working on the tremolo picking with the fingers, but that such a beautiful piece to Regra, and you've done a really good job of making, like, using that as an inspiration, making your own piece out of that. It's just beautiful, just absolutely beautiful.
So you're telling me that wasn't a delay pedal? He was doing that himself?
Yeah, so he was.
Holy shit!
I think his technique is it's a downstroke with a pick, then the index finger, and then down and up with a pick. So you go do 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 do, and then you like. So from what I can remember him saying to Trey, I'm sure he can correct me in the chat, but it doesn't really. It's a good way of kind of using picking fingers to get that kind of tremolo effect.
Wow.
It's hybrid picking. It's a hybrid
like...
between Pima and picking. It was, wow. Right hand technique is on point.
Absolutely.
I mean, I was watching, I was like looking at his middle finger, seeing if it was moving, and it was. And because his picking finger looks like it's working the A, D, G strings and possibly the B, and then the middle finger was picking the E string, the high E. It was really interesting. Guys got some skill there.
Yeah, down, pluck, fast, down, too. Up. That's a T-shirt just there. Down, pluck, down, up.
Yeah, that's a really cool technique.
Oh yeah,
that was amazing.
Well, I was making a drink, so I wasn't watching, but I was listening, and it was very nice. And now we're talking about your technique. I'm jealous because I can't even. I was trying to learn to Travis pick the other day. I was learning a Towns Van Sant song, and I was having trouble with that. So yeah, hats off to you. Amazing.
And I really like the Spanish feel of it. I mean, it literally took me to Pan's Labyrinth. That movie. The music was very much in line with that kind of sound. So, only feedback I got is polish this mix up and send thee to a sync company and get this put in a movie, a fantasy movie, something of that nature. Because it's going to give that nostalgia vibe, especially if it's set in Spain or anywhere in Europe where the gypsy sound will come through.
Yeah.
I think you got something there.
Yeah, and I think as well, to do that technique on an electric guitar so cleanly is very impressive, because like it's such a good way to, I think, because trying to do that technique on an electric guitar with your fingers, where obviously a nylon string's got a little bit more width between the actual strings, to try that on an electric, you would probably catch it wouldn't be as clean. So that great adaptation of using the pick and the fingers and the hybrid picking and that has worked really well. Just awesome, Tomo.
Yeah, I can do Pima, but I can't do that hybrid. That just looked insane.
Yeah.
Like, and then that the speed of it.
Yeah.
Was, it was good.
Yeah, I think the point about sync library is like, really good idea. You better hope they have like a new season of Narcos coming out or something like that. Be perfect for it.
That would so work in that. Yeah.
Just like walking in slow motion with that playing in the background. Perfect. And he's about to like kill his brother or something. I don't know.
The next Antonio Banderas movie. That one too.
Yeah. Did they make a movie about the El Chapo? Yeah.
They have like 2 or 3 TV shows. I don't think they've made a movie yet.
Yeah.
They should.
Well, They should do, yeah. I mean, just on the escape alone, for sure. So yeah, get it into a sync library.
I mean, explore a slightly different scale too, because what you did there also, if you made it sound more Mediterranean, would go in any mobster movie. Think Godfather theme song.
Yep.
He's got a
That
point.
too, like if you just used a different scale instead of going with the harmonic minor there, you would totally get the kind of Godfather old school Sicilian sound.
El Crocho. Urban comes in straight away. El Crocho. So while we're on the classical pieces, I thought I'd stick my own hat in the ring on this. So this is just a short. So this is the music that is tattooed on my arm. I don't know, right there. Is the opening bars to Isaac Albanese's Asturias, which is a classical piece that I will learn in my lifetime. I spent a lot of time over the lockdown trying to get better at it, get better at the technique, develop my nails, and then I discovered TraceStream and tried songwriting instead. But I thought I'll play you my little short attempt at it that I did in the garden, so we get some bird noises in the background as well, which is quite pretty. So. And that was as far as the short got. But yeah, that's a big old fun one. No, I don't want me twice. Goodness sake.
Millennial.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, just keep it like this.
And we'll add me as well. Just keep it like. Now we're all swap places. We're going to confuse everybody. We're just going to move around. It just depends on who I get.
Musical chairs.
Yeah.
So, nice left-hand technique, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, that looked good. It looked like you had individual control of each finger. So you've done your spider walks. Good job.
A little. Yeah. I mean, I got big into classical guitar. The person who taught, well, I first learnt guitar off, who unfortunately passed away at a very young age, only 21, of a brain aneurysm, which was really sad. But when I was 16, like he was the sort of person that got me into guitar. Sort of learnt a bit of the blues off him and stuff, and he was really into classical guitar, and he played a Prelude in E by Bach, which is, if you've ever heard it, it's a fucking immense piece of music. But he also like sort of played that, and he really got me into the kind of classical guitar, and then like obviously started off with Romanza, and then that one again was inspired by, well, I kind of wanted to learn it because I started learning the Doors' Spanish Caravan, which took the intro from that piece. And yeah, I heard it and I was like, I really, really want to learn that. That and Concerto de Aranjuez. But that's a monster. That's like 10 minutes of just beautiful guitar playing, but I just don't have the time.
The other thing as well is growing out your nails. Like when I was playing in open tunings quite a lot, I grew up for like a summer. I grew my nails out, and the looks you get when you're in shops, like you pay. It's like, right, pay with this. Make sure you pay with the right hand. Like, oh, like giving a card over. It's like, it's horrible because people look at you like, what the.
My wife hated it. She creeped her out, and we'll keep the smug grins from that. We'll keep the permits like an eagle. But no, I love. This is the thing. My feeling on instrumental music is definitely based from a classical standpoint. So when I hear instrumental pieces that are just riffs and things, it kind of annoys me because I think there's so much there that can be developed, but it's kind of not. People don't want to. They just want to hear their kind of riff. So when I hear somebody like Tomo who plays something like melodic in it, and like obviously that's what stands out. The best instrumental guitarists is because they do create actual songs, actual compositions, rather than just the Jun riff, the cursed Jun riff.
Hey, let's not talk shit about the Jun riff, okay? This ain't Trey's stream. Jun is welcome.
The Jun is sacred here.
All hail the Jun. Yeah. Hey, I like a Jun riff.
I think what it is like
Everlong is a Jun riff. Da, 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 da. That's a Jun riff. It's just no palm muting. Like, get out of my face with no Jun.
Yeah, it's fine. Like rhythm. If you're gonna use that rhythm, perfect example there that you just said with Everlong. But it's developing the idea, like what Andrew was talking about. People don't do that, and I think it's like. When you first learn a riff, when you learn to play guitar, and you're like, oh my god, I can play it, and you just want to play it over and over again. It's like people get stuck on that when they come up with their own riff. They're just like, oh my god, I came up with this, I really like it, and they just want to play it over and over again. They can't show their friends forever, so they just burden everyone on the internet with it. You know what I mean?
It's like imagine a caveman discovered fire. That's what a guitarist, when they discover the open string and then the octave below it, it's like, oh my god, dun dun ding, dun dun ding, oh my god, this is fire, and just they write every riff around that pattern. Every Slayer song ever, most Metallica songs.
Yeah, you spot on there. Sorry, I got ice in my mouth.
I think it just, I guess it becomes disenfranchising when you hear it so often and never developed is maybe where it sort of comes from. The thing is, I never noticed it until it got pointed out so much on the streams. And now when I hear it, I'm like, oh, it's a Jun.
This is why musicians are the hardest to please, because we know the secret behind, we know who Oz is. We see behind the curtain. I don't care if the regular listening audience likes it. Do it. They're gonna account for the majority of your listeners. So Jun away. If people like that.
Also, as well, if you like, it's got to be something you like first and foremost, for sure. And I think because like if you've seen the sausage made, it's like if you were in McDonald's and you saw how the burgers were made, you would not eat there. You know what I mean?
I'd still probably eat there. I just just feel guilty about it because like I don't have enough time to go cook something. But I mean, all this technique stuff. Are you trying to impress people or are you trying to entertain people? It's like sometimes the simplest stuff is the most entertaining. I mean, that like explains Blink-182 100%. People loved it.
Or it could be aliens.
4 chords. Well, aliens too.
That was one of the things when I went back to college and we were doing music, it was great because we got an opportunity to speak with professional musicians, session musicians, and things like that. And I remember sitting in one of the drum workshops, and the drummer, he was a session drummer for a lot of big bands, a lot of big pop bands and soul bands and stuff like that. And one of the things that he said, that the reason that he got a lot of jobs, he could obviously shred on the drums and do all the fancy stuff, but he said the reason that he got so many jobs is because he could play the simple stuff so well, that like it didn't matter what studio he went into, he would play it with the right technique for the recording studio, or whether it was a live session, because he drilled the simple stuff into him until he could like master that. He could do all the flashy stuff, but the simple 4 on the floor beat in perfect kind of time and adjust to the pocket if he was in a live situation or if he was in a studio situation, that was one of the reasons that he got that. And I think it's a lot of session players say that it's being able to have that ability along with also being a nice person and getting on with people was another thing he said, that I got on well with people, so that made session work a lot easier.
No space for prima donnas, right?
No.
What's that? The drummer, he came up with the Purdy Shuffle. His second name is Purdy, I think. Like he's played on like hundreds, thousands of records. But there's a great interview with him with I think might have been with Rick Beato, or might be in an earlier one in like the 70s or the 80s, and he's talking about simplicity and basically saying what Andrew was just saying there. You know what I mean? And then, you know, I mean, even like Ringo said, like, when it came to the fill, that was his time to shine, and he could do something a bit more flashy. And he wasn't the flashiest drummer, but even he wanted to do that. But yeah, you gotta. I think me and Andrew were talking about this the other day. It's like, it's about serving the song, and I think every musician needs to understand that. It's not like guitar shreds are great, but if you're literally playing a riff that sounds like look at me, 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 it's like, you know what they want? They want people to look at it. Look at them.
It's like my Ruined Effigy stuff. I was trying too hard. Toned it down, and it's more accessible now in the new stuff. I mean, I'm self-aware enough to realize that.
Do you think that's from working with someone else, like getting out of just being on your own?
No, because I wrote the first song that we released, the one that's on Spotify. I had written that, and I had done vocals to it, and I realized my vocals didn't work for it. And I reached out for someone, so that the structure, the move and change was already there, going more a simple route to make room for vocals. And it's just getting over the fact that you play guitar. The song isn't about the guitar, it's about the vocals. It always is. Doesn't matter what genre you're in, the vocalist has a spotlight, and you need to know when to take a back seat. You get a nice little 8-bar section where you could do a solo, but that's it. Everything else is about the rhythm.
Yeah.
Drums, vocals really are the band. Everything else is just drapery. Icing. Beatboxing and rapping prove that. I mean, people listen to beatbox with people rapping on top of it without any other element.
Yeah. I gotta admit, though, I hate beatboxers. I really hate them.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but the idea is there. It's rhythm and vocal, the vocal melody.
Yeah, it's not anything like they are talented and all the rest of it. And you're right, like they're the base elements. You break it down, you can do something great with it. Then you're great. You know, you're an artist basically at the end of the day. But like, I told Andy today, like, I grew up skateboarding, and I'd go to like a skate competition or like whatever, and there was always a beatboxer. And he'd get and like he'd come up to the stage and be like, "This is blah blah blah," and he'd just start beatboxing, and it was so annoying. It was like everywhere in like the mid 2000s, you know.
Well, if you were just a little bit older, you would have seen them breakdancing too, and just be blessed that you didn't have to witness that.
And see them getting the little cardboard fucking square out and
Get
all
him
that.
covered.
Yes.
That was one of my favourite episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine when Sergeant Holt did the break dance and Jay had to look away. And it's like, what happened? It's like, you'll never get to see that, Jay. Right. So we've got one from Enslaved Angel, which we are going to listen to in a second. But E. Urban has sent in a wee thing that's Sampler Go Brr. So we'll have a listen to that. It's just a Dropbox, so we'll leave our smiling faces on while this is playing in the background.
Oh, it's a real reaction if you see people's faces.
That was building. That was a big drop, but I knew it was coming to the end of the track because I could see it. But that was cool. Yeah.
That was the Urban.
Yeah, that was E. Urban, and I know that obviously when we had the chat on the charity stream, E. Urban wasn't sure about. He was always kind of holding stuff back, but he shouldn't have been, because that was awesome. And I think that having Hell doing some vocals over that, like getting a wee vocal top line, because she did that song for her friend, the kind of 90s disco one, and I could totally. We were kind of dancing, Valerie. I was doing that. Valerie's saying, "It can't believe you all weren't dancing to that."
That's white boy dancing.
It's white boy dancing. We're too cool for that.
It's just head and shoulders.
A little bit of head back and forth.
But yeah, getting some like Hell, some female vocals over the top of that would be really cool, I think.
She's got the right voice for that, I'd say.
For sure. Yeah, I liked it, and I think it's really cool that you're actually not just deleting everything now. I think he was saying he was just deleting everything that he made. You know, and the other thing is, you can always come back to things. Like I probably got like maybe over 1,000 something ideas floating around on phones and hard drives and stuff that I haven't came back to, but like Become Blue, like I'm still working out right now, but like I came back to that, and I think I wrote that like 2 years ago, and I came back to it recently, and now, like, you know, it's becoming something. It's not finished yet, but that's the point. You never know what something will become, so keep it up. Don't be deleting anything anymore. Yeah, Ben. Otherwise, I'll hunt you down and steal your ideas.
Man,
There you go.
I was gonna make some mixed critique, but in all honesty, it's just Ecamm was ass. Like,
Yeah.
it was causing pumping and everything. So I took my headphones off and listened to it on the stream because I remembered, oh yeah, it sounded good. The thing that grabbed me the most, Eric, is the Nine Inch Nails sounding drums, man. They sounded so good. Like, it reminded me of Pretty Hate Machine drums. Loved it.
Yeah. That snare, it sounds like it's covered in rice or something every time they hit it. Like
It's almost a crowd chant, like,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. If you saw me take my headphones off, it was like, I was like, listen to it, like, this is pumping like crazy.
Yeah,
Forget
Ecamm is
this.
crap for listening
Yeah,
to.
it's trash.
It's, it just, I think you can, I mean, one of the settings is you can actually I think it takes the processing off, but the problem is it causes so much echo. And I think for anybody, like for you guys, you need to have it set up through Chrome and all this kind of stuff. But it does mean that you get a stereo out. So I'm hoping to try and figure out a way of doing that when I get people on doing live performances, we'll be able to work on that to give a better sound coming through.
I've got some stuff that you could try, Andrew, but you'd have to go through Discord, which is kind of a similar layout, but it's up to you if you want to.
I think I can get Ecamm to talk to Discord. I'm sure there's a thing. I'd seen a thing about it, but it's definitely something I want to do in the future. Now we'll have a listen to the one that.
These two guys are giving me instrument envy. I'm just bringing one out. Like, whatever. You guys have drum sets behind you. Here. There we go.
I've not got instrument
I play
envy.
too.
I'm proud of my instrument. Hey, my little ukulele. Bing, bing, bing.
I've
right.
got a uke on the wall over there. Oh no, wait. Where is my uke? I don't even know it. I've got 2 mandolins on the wall over there.
So, although Transylvania Stud's not here, he did mention something. So Enslaved Angel says about this one, this is from a band called Dark Signal. And he said, Transylvania said something about writing heavy pop music earlier, and these guys came to mind. They were on Trace Stream a couple of weeks ago, and it's the Darko US's producers band. So I'll just make sure.
Darko US, this is going to be heavy.
Let's just... I'm just making sure that we're not distributed by CD Baby. I don't think they are.
CD baby.
Cool. Not by the looks of things. Right, let's maximize it. I think we've got a video. So official hybrid video. I'm not quite sure what a hybrid video is, but we'll find out.
I hear hello, but it's not me. So down I go.
I'm going to bring everybody back on. So, D. Kenny, Danny, Juicebox, and Millennial Animal. Oh, look, me and D. Kenny get the important slots up at the top. Peasants.
I will take my spot down here in the mud.
I'm kind of disappointed that I'm not a sandwich between Juice and Dan right now.
I don't know if I can.
I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
I don't know if I took you off and then put you back on.
Hi, Juice.
Yeah, that
Some sexy bread that surrounds me.
Oh yeah. Some of that scouse sauce.
That is definitely a strange request there. I'm not going to judge you. We don't judge here. We just review. And you're going to have to work on your mixes. That one was kind of sketchy.
Freak flag fly. That's all it is.
Well, I mean, there's so many notes I have about that song. I mean, the production needed work. The vocals were a bit dodgy. I wasn't that impressed with that. It was a bit poor. Yeah, it's
That's
terrible.
funny.
It's fucking awesome. I love that.
I know you're being
Real
sarcastic, but I was
real
offended
good,
anyway.
yeah.
I was like, what the hell? What? There a crack pipe up over there? Like, where's the crack pipe?
What's he saying? These fucking Scottish people. What the fuck? Yeah.
It's not my kind of music, but yeah, really well. Great performances, obviously great mix. Vocalists great. Don't know how much quote unquote help in terms of, I don't know. I can't even tell when there's like any kind of tuning on vocals anymore. But it was great. Not my type of thing, so I'm gonna sound like the oldest young guy in the room, but like it just for me personally, there was some kind of like, it sounds stupid, but just like there was little bits of it where it was a bit soulless, and then my favorite part was the end, not because it finished, but I did, like, the key change was really cool. I really liked that. But yeah, all around really good. It's not my type of music, so to make me overall like it, you can tell it's a good song. Because I am the arbiter of what is good here.
Boo this man! Boo this man!
This man.
He's the decider.
That's why I brought him.
Just to let you all know, although it's probably just us five and then a few others, but the Audio Brothers stream is going to be going live in about 25 minutes. So we will be ending this one and jumping straight on the stream over to...
I'll probably jump off just a few minutes before you end, just to do some final preps. But
yep. And then
but I wanted to come in and help us transition over.
We are.
Come on over.
We're working that. We're we're putting in the sweeps and the reverse cymbals and.
You know what? You know what song Led Zeppelin ever played? Like the first song they ever played together when they first got in the room. That first night.
It's okay, Juicebox. It's okay.
You know what?
It's okay.
Keep petting me. Keep petting me. Do you know what song it was that they played? D. Kenny, do you know?
Well,
Y'all scared my kid. What a group of ugly guys. Sorry, son. Here, you don't have to look at the horror movie. Just go.
It goes.
I'm ordering
The train
food.
kept rolling. The train kept rolling all night long. Train kept rolling all night long.
This is where headphones come in handy.
Fun fact.
I'm
Didn't
not
they
letting
do
you
that
corrupt my
session
son.
before that though?
Say what?
That slow blues session they did. I think it was on a PJ Proby record of all things. What's that song
It
called?
wasn't. I don't know, but it wasn't all four of them.
I thought all four of them were on it. You can tell Bonham's on it for sure. I don't know. Maybe
But-
Page isn't playing guitar.
Well, that's the popular lore. Is that the first time those four got in the room together, they said, "What do you guys know? Did you guys know Train kept rolling?" And then they just jammed it, and it was like, "Yep, this is good." And then they played it at concerts, and then Aerosmith recorded it and had a hit with it. Isn't that funny?
Now you hear some of those Zeppelin recordings of it, and it's like, why the hell did anybody bother after that? They should have recorded it so everybody knew they shouldn't touch it. It was done.
It's that thing that I always forget about Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and stuff is because their music's so like timeless and it's gone on for 50, 60 years. Like their actual time out as a band was only like 3 years or something, 3 or 4 years. It's like their sort of peak, and again they were in their 20s or 21 or something like that, and it's just like shit.
It's like that with a lot of bands, but if you think about it, like they were playing for like years and years and years before that. People always think like, oh, they think like overnight success, but really it's like 10 years of leading up to that success, whatever they're doing. And most bands usually their peak lasts a couple of years, unless you're like, I don't know, Tool or something. or David Bowie or something like that.
See you, Enslaved Angel. He's shooting off. Thanks very much. Thanks for the song submissions. Thanks for the introduction to that band that I've not heard of and I really enjoyed. Appreciate that. Yep. I always like to find new stuff. And I did feel like that last band had similarities to North of Never, which is I like that kind of style. There's definitely some of that in there. Keep the train rolling indeed. That's what Ryan Saunders says. And Big Kid's in the house as well. I think
Big Kid.
No, keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling.
Rolling. I was not gonna sing that.
Keep rolling.
Why?
Did you see did you see them play? They played like Coachella or something.
No.
Like a year or so ago. It's so funny.
Yeah, it was funny that performance. I'm not a Limp Bizkit fan, and I ended up watching that entire concert video for some reason, and it was entertaining.
Yeah,
this is like
that's what you want, isn't it?
That's weird. I guess I have to admit that they're a pretty good band, even though I'm not a fan.
Yeah, there's a lot of bands like that.
Because I put it on and I was like, how garbage is this going to be? And they like rocked my socks. I like sat there jamming.
Yeah.
It's whatever. Fine.
You did it all for the nookie.
There was, yeah. Yeah, that's the one with the weird handlebar mustache and the gray wig.
Yeah, he came out like really playing up the whole old guy image. It was really, I thought that was pretty smart.
Hey.
There's been quite a few gigs like that. Like, did the whole like I've never been a Foo Fighters fan, but that whole like Taylor Hawkins tribute gigs and stuff that they did, I watched like all of them. They were like pretty
Same.
pretty.
I binged it.
yeah.
Binged it.
I got
Loved it
it was
all.
hard. It was a bit difficult, like when Dave Grohl starts getting all like choked up.
Right.
I can't remember what song they were playing, but that was crazy to see.
Right. It was like they let you like laugh with them and then cry with them, basically. Don't tell anybody, but I sat here by myself like.
Yeah.
Don't tell
I
anybody.
think the coolest bit was with Taylor's kid playing the kit. That was like
Kid's a
100%.
monster.
Yeah. Obviously, they'll bring him on tour, if not for at least a couple songs a night.
yeah,
It, like
that
just
was cool.
needs to happen.
I saw all these people saying, "Oh, you know, there's the little girl that plays their kit, like
Yeah.
Nancy something."
Nandy.
Or,
Nando,
Yeah.
Nandy Bushel.
that's it, yeah. And there's all these people like, "Oh, she's gonna be their new drummer," and I'm like, "You think like what is she, like 13-year-old girl can play every night on tour and has the stamina to do that? She's fucking stupid."
No, but she's on her way.
She's gonna.
She's
be,
on her fucking way.
Whether she becomes like a just drummer or she becomes like a musician, she's gonna be great whatever she does.
Yeah.
That's besides the point. The point is you don't put like, you see what happens to
Yeah.
child actors.
It's not
Don't
realistic
give it to the
for
girl.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfair. People
Not
think-
realistic.
No. She's got better chops than me, that's for sure.
She's got the spirit. She just that kid clearly loves doing what she's doing. No question about it. So, and that's like what's great about watching her play is she's just like, just fucking happy with to be playing every note.
Yeah, it's great to see. Makes you want to make
Love
some
it.
music.
For real.
It's great to
Chase
see.
that feeling.
Well, that's what we all want to be doing. You want to be enjoying it. The minute it becomes not enjoyable, then unless it's your livelihood, then stop doing it. And I suppose that's it.
I have days where I fucking hate it, but I still do it.
I think when you can play
That's it.
more like yourself, Sean, like because you can play a few different instruments, I think that probably makes a difference, because if you get fed up with the guitar and you can play the drums, and if you're in a pissed off mood, the drums must just be so much fun.
Yeah,
Just
but
like
you don't
right?
get anything done when you're pissed off. In my opinion, I'm like, I was hitting too hard there. I was laying in too much. You know? That's the only problem with that. But you're right. You get some energy out for sure. It's like,
And then you break ahead and get even pissed off more.
oh yeah. I broke a kick drum head like 2 days before. I think it was like Christmas or something ago, and I had to go into the city to get a fresh new head, and it was a fucking nightmare. There was just people everywhere, and I was like,
And then
I'm
they
not gonna
charge you
order
$60
it.
for the head,
Oh god.
or how,
Yeah.
or pounds or whatever,
Yeah.
or whatever you guys use.
Ruse.
What?
They
I
British
did
money.
that. One
Like
of the very
kangaroo
first.
pelts.
Remember one of
Money.
the first backyard gigs we ever played? I put a hole straight in my kick drum, and we needed like nobody could find any duct tape, and it was like, I mean, prior to this, I'd had a drum machine I was stepping on to make kick drum sounds hooked up to an amp, so I had
Ghetto drum set.
I had upgraded, but turns out drum heads break, and I learned that real fast. Like, maybe I should let up on the right foot a little bit, and I never did that. I've only just gotten more duct tape.
Yeah.
Skadoosh.
Duct tape
Skadoosh.
saves us all. Eric has sent in one of his friends' official music video called The Curse.
All right.
So we will have a little listen to that. Let's bring up the iPad and let's hit play and mute.
These days it's hard to see through the haze of all the hatred, like bitter poison floating in the air. I take a breath and find myself on the verge of infecting everyone that I call my home. Time erases faster with every passing day. I hope I leave a legacy, one I can be proud of, an imperfect memory. See past the flaws to get to love. Maybe we can find ourselves by lifting those who fall. Live with all your heart. Love wins after all. Love wins after all. These days are wearing down the vigor in my hands. I still try so I can make my way. I don't know what I'm headed toward, but I know that I am ready for anything that wants to challenge me. Time races faster with every passing day. I hope I leave a legacy, one I can be proud of, an imperfect memory. See past the flaws to get to love. Maybe we can find ourselves by lifting those who fall. Live with all your heart. Love wins after all. It's not easy, it's not fair, but if you love and if you care, you can change the world. You can change the world. Love could be your legacy. You could be the change. I hope I leave a legacy, one I can be proud of, an imperfect memory. See past the flaws to get to love. Maybe we can find ourselves by lifting those who fall. Live with all your heart. Love wins after all. Love wins after all. Love wins after all. Maybe we can find ourselves by lifting those who fall. Live with all your heart. Love wins after all.
Aye. Oh, we're still at the top, D Kenny. That's just the way it went. When I didn't know if it was going to bring us into different places. That was a good song. I like that. Thank you for sharing that, Eric. So that was Eric's friend's band's debut single, I think he said. Just friend of his just released a new single, yeah. So not debut, because I noticed that they had other stuff on there, but no, that was really cool. I know that Che would say is like, plug your guitars in if you're doing a music video.
What are they gonna fucking plug it into a tree?
It's just this thing. It's like don't have a lead, and I know Glenn would probably say don't film a music video in the afternoon in bright sunshine. That'd be the,
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Juicebox single-handedly proved the band shit thing to be bullshit. That Trey says the other day with that.
What are you talking about? Are we?
With the Wonton project on the fan set the other day.
Oh, that.
And
the boob is shut. Yes.
Yeah. Also, as well, I like when like I find a new band and they have a band shirt on, and then I check that band out. I kind of like that, but that's just me. And then, yeah, I think if you're filming outside and your guitars aren't plugged in, it's just I love Trey, but that's just a bit autistic for me.
Right.
The guitar's not plugged in, guys. Yeah, Trey, they're outside, lads. It's a fucking music video.
They're not. They're not really playing, right? Anyways,
it's a video,
dudes. I'm gonna drop out to prep real quick just to make some last minute stuffs for the Audio Bros podcast stream. I hope you guys all can make it over. Whoever can make it over, we'll see you there, and we'll keep this motherfucking train a rolling.
I'll be jumping over for the first wee bit to jump on and keep Juicebox company, and then when Chuck and Eric have finished their actual jobs, I'll duck out and leave the actual Audio Brothers to do the Audio Brothers stuff. Now, Danny is very kindly sent in a little exclusive. Danny, let us know about this just while I'm getting it set up, and then we'll have a listen.
So it's a short little snippet of just guitar, drums, and vocals for the song we're working on right now, and it's part of the breakdown. And the idea is to capture a deathcore slam sound. Something completely different than what we do. But just keep that experimentation going.
Yeah.
So
hopefully
this is what it sounds like before I do any mixing. Like, this is like raw. So don't judge it on that.
Okay. So
I'm gonna raw dog it.
hopefully it'll play through.
Raw dogging.
I'm going through audio share, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So that's going to be a heavy song.
It's going to say it is. Certainly, it's going to be a heavy song. I would lengthen it a bit. I'm joking.
If we release it like this, it's a grindcore song, but short, but slow.
Gonna do that thing that always annoys me whenever I send in stuff to Trey. It's like I'll say it's a demo, like I know nothing about mixing, and it's like a rough. And always see in the comments like later Juicebox. They always see the comment. It's like, oh, the mix is a bit. It's like, I know it's not. It's a fucking demo. It's a fucking demo.
There is no mix. There is no mix. It's literally raw vocal. Like, that's how Chris sounds. Raw, like, no processing. Like, he's good. And the guitars, like, those were amp sims. I haven't even plugged up my amps yet to track the guitars for that. So that's part of our writing process. But we've got the song written now. So there's all this production stuff. But I literally made that snippet to have him tell me what he thought of the drums and how they interplayed with the vocals. Mm-hmm. And I figured, I got this file. I'll throw it out there. It's like, hey, we are working on stuff. We got 8 songs now, and we're going to do a cover.
Cool.
So we'll have 9 by April.
Oh, that's good. So are you planning? I mean, I'm going to talk to you this properly, but are you going to plan on doing like kind of releases every sort of 2 to 3 weeks kind of thing, like the waterfall release style thing?
It's every month.
Is it every month?
So
yeah.
it started in January.
Yeah.
The next one hits February 10th,
Yep.
and then March. Yeah, and we're both anxious. Like, oh man, we got these songs, but we can't. Like, they're not on Spotify yet. They're not on YouTube. Get them out there. We just having to hold ourselves and be patient.
Yeah. No, that's
So,
definitely a thing to do with that.
Yeah, I mean your stuff said it's like it's up there with quality stuff out there. So I can understand the anxiety. You want people to hear it, but yeah, I think the best thing to do is to kind of just hold back. There's a guy called I think it's Jesse Cannon on YouTube. You should check him out. Like he talks about that stuff about promotion.
Is that the British guy, English guy?
No, he's American. He's a
Is he
bit of a like, you can tell he's a bit like, how do I say this nicely?
He's touched. He's touched. I can't say it in a British accent, but he's trying to say touched. He's a bit touched.
I might put it that way. But anyway, yeah, he does put some good information out there, and he clearly knows his stuff. He's in that world, promotes bands. He's like he's actually mixed some bands that I really like. But yeah, I'd check him out, and it'll reinforce that kind of, okay, that's what I've got to do. That's the best way to do it. Might get rid of some of that kind of anticipation anxiety,
I'd say
as always.
I put my single on Bandcamp recently, and that just purely because I was like, oh, I'll stick it on Bandcamp. But the plan for me and the one that D. Kenny's very kindly offered to do some bass on, and you've offered to do some harmonies on, Danny. The one that was sent in. I'm wanting to make that next single, but I want to kind of actually like do a proper music video. I've got a friend, my friend's daughter's doing animation and stuff, so she's maybe going to do like an animated music video for me. And I want to do a bit of an experiment to see what kind of plays and stuff I can get with like a proper like kind of planned release, doing my own marketing and that. I'm not gonna pay. I might do some Google ads and that, because you don't actually have to pay that much for any kind of ads on Facebook or Instagram, but just to see what kind of plays and stuff we could get from it, because I think it'd be an interesting experiment to sort of see from point of view of like no sort of following or anything like that, but just word of mouth, and hopefully it's a good enough song. I like the song, and I've appreciated all the feedback that people have given about it, and just it's getting it to the sound that's in my head, but that's where Eric comes in and D. Kenny and Mr. Smith on drums and Danny on harmonies, and it's always that thing when you're writing lyrics and melodies, it's being confident and happy with them, I think, sometimes before tracking them, and I'm always a bit of a rush to track stuff, so I'm trying to do this right.
I'm gonna listen to a dollar. Sorry,
how you go?
I was just saying.
I was gonna.
Doing it right is taking your time. Go on, Daniel. Ladies first.
Oh, hold on. What was that? I was just gonna say, keep on that single mentality. Re-engaging with your audience over and over again is a lot better than dumping everything at them. You'll see a peak, and then you'll see this huge trough afterwards. Where if you're constantly giving them something, you'll see the same people re-engage plus new people, and the ad campaign. It's smart. That's gonna be what we do after we've got a couple things out there. Is start Instagram ad campaigns and Facebook ad campaigns. We haven't thought about Google yet because we haven't really tested that yet. But
It's definitely
we know that Instagram will lead to it, and so will Facebook.
Yeah.
Not Twitter. No shade on Twitter, but like we can't get anyone on Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter's a bit, it's all over the place, especially at the moment.
Right,
Yeah.
I've just realised that's the time, and the notice has just gone live that Audio Brothers is now live. So everybody in the chat, everybody here, thank you very much for joining me. Really appreciated all the conversations. It was great. It was a good hang. I think Trey's away next week as well, so we might be doing this again next week. So we'll I'm sure he said the next 2 weeks he was away, so we'll do this. It'll be a bit more prepped. But thank you very much, Danny. Thanks very much, Millennial Animal. Thank you very much, D Kenny. Thanks very much, Transylvania Stud. Thanks very much, Juicebox. Everybody in the chat, I've pinned the comment to the Audio Brothers stream, so just click on that and that'll take you over, and we'll see you all then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
See y'all.
Oh, end broadcast.